welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura, and today I'm pre-recording my wrap-up for October. I read 12 books in October. 8 of them were audiobooks. One was a graphic novel. So I'm just going to share what I read and what I gave a rating to and how I liked it or didn't like it. So the first book that I listened to on audio was We Need to Talk About Kevin, and it is by Lionel Shriver. I don't know if I said her name right or his name. It is this book here, and I gave it 4 stars. I'm using my journal. I gave it 4 stars. It's about a woman named Eva who has a son named Kevin who's 16 years old, and he goes on a rampage in a school. So I'm not going to tell you what he used because that's a spoiler, but I enjoyed the book. I gave it 4 stars. The next book was my favorite book of the month, and I listened to this on audio. It was The Silver Linings by Matthew Quick, and it's this one, and I gave it 5 stars. I have it on my favorites. I read the book, then I watched the movie. The book was amazing. I loved it. The movie, not so much. I gave the movie 3 stars. They changed so much in the movie. They made the movie more of a romance type thing, where the book is more geared to the mental health. So I really suggest you read the book, then watch the movie. But I didn't really like the movie. So, okay. So the next book that I listened to on audio, I gave 4 stars to. It's The Art of the Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. And this book was amazing as well. It's this one here. It was really good. It's about a dog that tells the story, and the story was very touching and very sad. I loved the book, and I actually gave the book to one of my friends at school, and she is reading it. So, yes, very great book. So, the next book that I read, I started reading this in September, but I finished it in October. It's Merciless by Daniel Vega. And it is the pink book. I was going to say purple, but this is the pink book. It looks like this. And this one I gave 4 stars to. It's realistic fiction. It's very creepy, very gross. It's about girls in school, and they torture one of the girls, and it's just torturous. At some points, I had to put the book down because it was so gross. So, yeah, so that was my October. It's great for an October read, so I gave it 4 stars. The next book I listened to on audio. I wanted to like this more, but I did not. I gave it 2 stars. It's Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me by Mindy Kaling. And it's this one here. And I just did not like the book at all. I don't watch the TV show, so I guess I couldn't relate to any of the characters or anything that she said. So, and I didn't think she was funny at all, so I gave it 2 stars. The next book I also listened on audio, and this one I got very upset about because I listened to it on audio, and I went to the library and got the book out, because what I like to read, I like to listen to it and also read and follow along. And when I got the book from the library, the physical book, I noticed that the audio is totally different than the real book, and he was like skipping words and skipping paragraphs, and he was changing the words around, and I couldn't even find my spot in the book. I just got so mad. And I gave this book 2 stars. It was Prey by Michael Christian, this one here. I do not recommend the audio at all. You're missing half the book. It's horrible audio, so I don't recommend that one. The next book is a graphic novel. I gave it 3 stars. It's Jane the Fox and Me. This is a cute story about a girl that gets bullied in school, and it looks like this one. It's a graphic novel. The fox only comes in like 2 pages throughout the whole book, but it was a cute story, and again, I gave it 3 stars. The next book is something I started in September. I finished it in October, and I also watched the movie. I gave the book 3 stars, and I gave the movie 4 stars. So I didn't really like the book that much. It was very science fiction, and it was very math for me. And it didn't keep my interest. It was funny, but I gave it on 3 stars, and that is The Martian by Andy Weir. The movie was better than the book, just to say that much. So, the next book that I listened to on audio was a book 2 of a series. I listened to The Ask and the Answer and by Patrick Ness, and it looks like this one. And this book, I gave it 4 stars. The audio is awesome in this series. The first book was better than this book 2. Book 1 was about the dog talking, and book 2 is about the horse talking. And you still have Todd and Viola within the book, but it wasn't as good as book 1. I am continuing. I'm actually listening to book 3 right now, so that will be finished in November, but it's not as good as book 1. So just to let you know. The next book that I actually read the book and I switched to audio because it wasn't keeping my attention. This was a book that we were reading with Mom to Triplets, and I gave this book 2 stars. It was Enclave by Anne Enquire. It looks like this one. This one's about zombies, and I just couldn't keep up with it, and it was slow paced. And I owned all the books, and I donated them back to the used bookstore. So that's how much I didn't like the first book. Okay, so the next book I gave 3.5 stars to. I was hoping this one would be more creepy. It's Asylum by Madeline Rokes. It looks like that. And I gave this one 3.5 stars. It was okay. I thought that it would be more creepy. It didn't really creep me out or anything. So, that's why I gave it 3.5 stars. The next book was a read with Mom to Triplets 04. And this one, was Everything by Nicola Yan. It's like this. And I gave this one 4 stars. I dropped it down a star because it was supposed to be realistic fiction, and to me it wasn't really realistic. It's about a girl who's 17 years old. She is allergic to everything and she cannot go out of her house. Meanwhile, a boy moves in next to her, and everything changes once he moves in. So I didn't think it was really realistic as I read on. It was a fast read. There was drawings within the book, and I think some of the drawings that were in the book weren't necessary. Just to make an extra page, I didn't think that it could have been shorter, the book. Even though it was only like 300 pages, but it was a fast read, and I did enjoy the story totally, so that's why I gave it 4 stars. So that's all the books I read in the month of October. I hope you enjoyed this, and happy reading. I'm not going to say what I'm reading for November because I really only have a few books picked out, so anyway, thank you. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!